There's money in fine dining. The problem that we see is that women and people of color are oftentimes excluded from those positions. You'll usually find white men exclusively in the front of the house. People out of the shadows. A lot of times we don't know what goes on, as we like to say, behind the kitchen door. If you don't work in the restaurant industry, you don't really think about what's going on with the people that are serving your food. So Roc was founded after September 11th. Windows on the World was a fine dining restaurant on top of the World Trade Tower. It employed a little over 300 people, and on September 11th, over 70 workers passed away in the tragedy. And about 300 workers lost their jobs. Mamdouh, who was a server at Windows on the World, who started Roc to help access benefits, teamed up with Saru, who was an organizer in New York. Fast forward, they get a ton of press coverage. People from all around New York are calling them and, can you help me in my restaurant? There's sexual harassment in my restaurant. There's wage theft going on in my restaurant. There's discrimination in my restaurant. Can you help me? So Mamdouh and Saru decide this organization is going to be a lot more than just helping Windows on the World. It's going to help all restaurant workers for New York. Somebody from LA calls and, they have the same issues in LA. So they decide to open up a Roc LA. Somebody in Detroit calls. They wanted Roc Detroit. 26 cities in 26 states around the country right now, and we're growing. We know that not all restaurants are bad places to work. There are places where you're not discriminated against. There are places where you're making more than minimum wage. There are places that offer paid sick days. And so part of what Roc does is try to find those restaurants, to highlight them to consumers as great places to eat, to highlight them to workers as great places to work, but also to use those restaurant owners to go out into their network, into their, to talk to other business owners to say, I offer paid sick days and it hasn't affected my bottom line, or I pay more than minimum wage to all of my back of the house workers and I'm still able to turn a profit. We want to be able to help businesses that want to do the right thing. We want to be able to show them really just at the high road as possible and connect them to employers that can teach them how to maybe tweak their budgets so that they're able to continue to make a decent living, but also make sure that they're not making that living off of the backs of their employees. And another part of the high road that we're trying to promote is actually our workforce development classes, where we try to recruit women and people of color and immigrants into the classes, where we'll teach them fine dining skills so that they can try to break into the industry where most of that money is. As consumers and as really members of the Georgetown community, I really see students as being able to talk to owners and saying, maybe you don't offer paid sick days now, but I want to see you try to get there. I want to make sure that the people who are serving me my food, the people that are preparing my food, the person who has to sit in the back and wash my dishes isn't coming to work when they're sick, can take a day off when maybe they're a single mother and their child is sick. I see that, I guess, being the role of Georgetown students. Keep going to the restaurants you're going to, but when you go, let the server know that you care about them having paid sick days. Maybe let the manager know that you care and you would like to see the restaurant start offering paid sick days. Maybe let them know that some Georgetown students have created a diner's guide that profiles restaurants that are engaging in these better business practices, and you would like to see them profiled next year in the next diner's guide with a better score, because it's a student hangout and it's something students care about.